The slide is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now today we are going to discuss about the digestive glands. So what do you mean by digestive glands? The glands that are associated with the digestive system are called digestive glands. So there are different types of digestive glands. For example, salivary glands, then liver, then gallbladder, then pancreas. Gallbladder is not the gland, it is only the storehouse. Mainly the salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. If somebody will ask you what are the digestive glands, you have to tell there are mainly three types of digestive gland. One is called salivary gland, another is called liver, another is the pancreas. The salivary glands, I think it is already been over by PC sir, is not it? Major salivary gland, minor salivary gland, because it is related to the head and neck. So those salivary glands which secrete saliva and pour into the mouth cavity, and that is the salivary glands. I am not going to discuss about the salivary glands. Now our main focus is now on the liver. So here you see in this photograph, so this is the right side of the abdomen. These are the ribs. This is the green color is the diaphragm. Now this chocolate color is the liver. Now liver, that is present in the right hypochondriac region. From the level of the lumbocostal angle, this is the lumbar, first lumbar vertebra, is the costa. Costa means rib. Lumbocostal angle is this one. So liver extends from the lumbocostal angle to the level of 8 rib. This is 13, 12, 11, 10, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. So it will come up to the 8 intercostal space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, up to the 8. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to the 8 intercostal, 8 rib. Up to the 8 rib from backward side. Okay. So what is the location of the liver? Liver located on the right hypochondriac region of the abdominal cavity, which extends from the lumbocostal angle to the level of 8 rib. 8 rib means you cannot count from the front side, you have to count from the back side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to the 8 rib. Understand? So location of the liver. So what is the location? Right hypochondriac region in the abdominal cavity. So hypochondriac region is the region that is present in the abdominal cavity, from the lumbocostal angle to the level of 8 rib. That is the location of the liver. Now, the liver is divisible into some lobes. So what are those lobes? In case of ox, I am telling now. There are 4 lobes. Right lobe, left lobe, quadrate lobe, and caudate lobe. Here you see, this is the right lobe, this is the left lobe, and in this side, this is the quadrate lobe, and this is the caudate lobe. This is the caudate lobe. So 4 lobes. That means this is right lobe, this is quadrate lobe, this is left lobe, this is caudate lobe. These are the 4 lobes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this caudate lobe, this is the caudate lobe, is having two processes. This process is known as caudate process, papillary process, and this process is known as caudate process. So whole is the caudate lobe. This dot dot, this white is dot dot area. This is the caudate lobe. This is the caudate lobe. This caudate lobe is having two processes. This is caudate process. This is papillary process. So that means, so caudate process plus papillary process is the caudate lobe. This is right lobe. This is quadrate lobe. This is left lobe. So if you see in the position of the liver, you see here is the lateral surface. So this is the left lobe. This is the right lobe. Now you may ask me, so liver is located in the right hypochondriac region. Then how the left lobe will be coming? Can you getting my question? I told you liver is located in the right hypochondriac region. That means liver is located on the right side of the median plane. And how the left lobe and the right lobe will come? So it is the comparative statement. That means this right lobe is lateral side as compared to the left lobe. Left lobe is towards the median line. That is why it is called left lobe. And this side is called right lobe because it is on the lateral side. So this is right lobe dorsally, left lobe ventrally. On the visceral surface you will get caudate lobe and quadrate lobe. The right lobe is situated dorsally and left lobe is ventrally. Already I told you, this is the left lobe ventrally, right lobe dorsally. The weight of the liver varies with the age, breed, condition, and even with the sex of the animal. So weight of the liver varies. So in case of cattle, in an adult cattle, generally the weight of the liver is 0.4 to 0.5% of the total body weight. That means if a cattle is having 100 kg body weight, then the weight of the liver is 400 gram. Clear? 400 to 500 gram. Clear? 0.4 to 0.5% of the body weight, total body weight. Of course, it varies depending upon age, sex, all these characters, depending upon the diet also. If the diet is very low, the liver weight will be less. That will also depend. But in a standard condition, the weight of the liver is 0.4 to 0.5% of the body weight. Now for description of the liver, it has 2 surfaces and 4 borders. Okay, 2 surfaces and 4 borders. So lobes we have already counted, 4 lobes. This is right lobe, this is quadrate lobe, this is left lobe, and this is caudate lobe. Caudate lobe is having caudate process, papillary process. It has 2 surfaces, you see. What are those surfaces? This is the lateral surface and this is the medial surface. So what are those surfaces? Lateral and medial. 4 borders. This is the dorsal border. This is the dorsal border. This is the ventral border. So here you see this is ventral border. This is ventral border. This is dorsal border. So this is medial border. So you cannot say this is dorsal, this is medial border and this is lateral border because of the position. So I repeat, 2 surfaces are lateral surface and medial surface. Borders are dorsal border, ventral border, medial border, lateral border. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, the parietal or lateral surface. The parietal surface or anterior surface or diaphragmatic surface, there are so many names. It may be called as lateral surface, parietal surface, anterior surface, or diaphragmatic surface. So in practical class, I will show you the position, they will understand, then you can understand very well. This surface is irregularly convex. You see, this is convex. The anterior falciform ligament stretches from the esophageal notch to the umbilical fissure. Here you see, this is the umbilical fissure. This is the esophageal notch. So there is one ligament, this ligament. Have you seen white color line here? White color line?
Yes, sir.
So this white color line is called falciform ligament. So on the lateral surface of the liver, you will get one ligament, and that ligament is called falciform ligament. So where from this ligament starts? This ligament starts from the esophageal notch, and it will go up to the umbilical fissure. Now coming to the visceral surface. This is the visceral surface. The visceral or posterior surface is irregularly concave. You see, this is concave, irregularly concave, and presents two impressions. One is called omesal impression, one is called reticular impression. You see, this impression is the reticular impression. That means in life, the reticulum is attached here, and this impression is the omesal impression. So omesum is attached here. That is why it gives an impression. Impression means it is a depression. So on the visceral surface, you will get two main impression. One is called omesal impression, this one. This is the reticular impression. And if you tell about the lobes, this is right lobe, this is quadrate lobe, this is left lobe, this one is the caudate lobe. Caudate lobe is having, this is papillary process, this is caudate process. Now, on the visceral surface, in addition to the impression, another structure is present that is called portal feature. This is the portal feature. Now, this portal feature is responsible for transmitting the portal vein, hepatic artery, and hepatic plexus of nerves into the liver, hepatic lymphatics, and hepatic duct from the liver. So these are the structure. Now what are the structure will enter? The portal vein will enter into the liver. The hepatic artery will enter into the liver. Then hepatic plexus of the nerves are enter into the liver. Now which are the structure will come out? The hepatic vein will come out. Hepatic vein will come out. The hepatic lymphatics will come out. This will come out. So you can say this is the door of the house or door of a room. So this is called portal feature. That area is called portal feature, where some of the structures will enter into the liver and some of the structures will come out from the liver. That is called portal feature. And this portal feature you are going to get on the visceral surface. If you see here, you see this is the portal feature. Here different ducts will come, either enter or come out from the liver. So where do we find portal feature? On the visceral surface. So we have come across two surfaces, the lateral surface or anterior or parietal surface, and which is convex, and visceral surface, which consists of two impressions, omesal impression and reticular impression. In addition to that, you will get portal feature. Now coming to the border, the dorsal border. Here you see, this is the dorsal border. This dorsal border is short. This is short and thick. You see, this is the dorsal border, short and thick. It presents towards the right a thick caudate lobe. This is the caudate lobe. and towards its left a renal impression. You see, this is the renal impression. Now, what is the renal impression? The right kidney is attached here. So, the right kidney is attached here. The right kidney is attached to the liver, and that impression is known as renal impression. So, on the dorsal border, you will get renal impression. Remember, so renal impression of the liver you will get on the dorsal border, which is short and thick. Now coming to the ventral border, is short, thin and convex. You see, short, thin and convex. Short, thin and convex. It is thin, it is thick. The lateral border, this is the lateral border. This is the lateral border. The lateral border presents the umbilical feature. This is the umbilical feature. Already I told you, here you will get the umbilical feature. This is the umbilical feature, to which the round ligament is attached. This is the round, this is the falciform ligament, is this one, and round ligament will be attached from here. Is falciform ligament and round ligament is attached here. So we have come across two ligaments. One is falciform ligament, one is round ligament. Falciform ligament you will be getting on the lateral surface, and round ligament you will be getting from falciform ligament you are going to get on the parietal surface, whereas the round ligament you are going to get on the lateral border. Now coming to the medial border, this one is the medial border. Here this is the medial border. The medial border presents its lower third. This is the lower third. This is the left lobe. So this is the lower third. A deep esophageal notch. This one is deep esophageal notch, which lodges the esophagus. So this is the esophagus will lodge here. Esophagus will come like this. So esophagus is lodged here. So this is all about the border. So how many borders? 4 borders: dorsal, ventral, lateral, medial. Surface, this is parietal, this is visceral. So in the parietal surface, you will get falciform ligament. In the visceral surface, you will get omasal impression, reticular impression. And you will get portal feature. Now dorsal border, what you will get? It is thick. Here you will get renal impression. Ventral border is thin and convex. Lateral border, it is thin and you will get umbilical ligament or round ligament. Medial border, you will get esophageal notch, where you will get the esophagus. Any doubt? So, where you will get the renal impression?
Dorsal border.
So, what organ it will connect?
Right kidney. Right kidney.
Right kidney. So, as the right kidney is attached with the renal impression of the liver, that is why right kidney is a fixed kidney. Okay, in case of cattle, right kidney is a fixed kidney, whereas left kidney is not a fixed kidney. It is a freely movable kidney. Okay. Now coming to the gallbladder. This is the gallbladder, green color. The gallbladder is a musculomembranous sac. It is a sac intended for the storage of bile. Actually, what happened? The liver is producing the bile, and that bile will store into the gallbladder. So it is the storehouse of bile. Gallbladder is the storehouse of bile, which is produced by the liver and stored in the gallbladder. So it is a pear-shaped sac. It is a pear-shaped sac that presents a large part called fundus. This is the fundus, large part, or body. and a narrow part. This narrow part is neck. So gallbladder is having two parts. One is fundus or body, and this is called neck of the gallbladder. Now, the neck is continued by cystic duct. So, cystic duct is the duct. You see, this one is a cystic duct. The cystic duct is coming from the gallbladder, and hepatic duct will come from the liver, joining a common duct called bile duct. It is called common bile duct or bile duct. Remember. So how the common bile duct or bile duct will form? This common bile duct or bile duct will form by the union of the hepatic duct from the liver and the cystic duct from the gallbladder. They will unite to form the common duct known as bile duct. And this bile duct carries the bile and opens in the duodenum. And it will pour into the duodenum. Bile will be poured into the duodenum, and through the feces, it will go out from the body. So feces are yellow in color. The yellow color feces, the color yellow is coming from the bile. Okay, those who are suffering from jaundice, the bile will not come to the duodenum. That is why the feces will not be yellow in color. So if the feces are not yellow, that is one of the symptoms of the jaundice, suffering from jaundice. Clear? So duct of the liver is known as hepatic duct. Okay. Duct of the gallbladder is known as togetherly hepatic duct and cystic duct unite to form the
Common bile
duct that opens into the
duodenum.
where? Duodenum मैंने पढ़ाया था. Where it will open in the duodenum? Can you tell me?
Caudal.
Duodenum, how many parts? Duodenum, how many parts? Three parts. What are those? Cranial part, descending part, and ascending part. So where it will open? Bile duct.
Cranial.
Just at the end of the cranial part, there is a S-shaped curve. Can you remember?
Sigmoid.
Just on the cranial part, just where the cranial part will finish, there you will get an S-shaped curve. In that S-shaped curve, the bile duct will open. Okay. In case of horse, after that bile duct, another duct will open. What is that duct? After few millimeter of the opening of the bile duct, another duct will open in the duodenum, in the S-shaped curve of the duodenum. What is that duct? Pancreatic duct. Very good. But in case of horse, what is the difference? In case of horse, this common bile duct and pancreatic duct will open into a particular point, and that is known as hepatopancreatic ampulla. Okay, that is the difference. In case of horse, both are open at the same point, similar in the particular point. But in case of other ruminants, other animals, first it will open the bile duct, then after few millimeters, there will be opening of the pancreatic duct. Now, attachment of the liver. So here you see, again I am coming to the first page. Attachment of, you see, liver is located like this. Can you see the photograph?
Yes.
So liver is like this. If liver is not attaching with anybody, then this part will fall down or not? It will fall down, is not it? By gravitational force, it will fall down. So it cannot be remain like this until and unless it is attached with somebody. Okay? Can you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So what are those structures which attaches the liver so that it can remain in position? Okay, that is called attachment of the liver. Getting the point? Or should I repeat? So, liver is obliquely present here, right? So, if there will be no attachment, this part will fall down. But it is not falling down. Why? Because there is some attachment. So, what are the structures which attaches the liver so that it can remain in position? That I am going to teach you now. Now, what are those structures? The first one is the right lateral ligament. So this right lateral ligament attaches the corresponding dorsal part of the liver to the posterior surface of the diaphragm. Dorsal part of the liver to the posterior surface of the diaphragm. You see. Here you see. Dorsal part of the liver. This is the dorsal part of the liver or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And this is green color is the diaphragm. So diaphragm का ये posterior part होगा कि नहीं होगा? This is the posterior part. This is the anterior part of the diaphragm. This is the posterior part of the diaphragm. So there is a connection. So there is a connection between the dorsal part of the liver and the posterior part of the diaphragm. And that is called right lateral ligament. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, the round ligament. It extends from and attaches the umbilical feature to the umbilicus. It is a fetal vestige. So in the fetus, the umbilical artery will be present, and after birth it will be remain as a round ligament. So round ligament, where from it attaches umbilical feature to the umbilicus. Here you see. This is the umbilical feature on the lateral surface, and umbilicus will be here or not, navel cord, in this area or not. So there is a connection. Okay, there is a connection here. Okay, there is a connection. So that is called round ligament. Next, lesser omentum extends from the esophageal notch to the portal feature and is attached to the omasum, pyloric part of the abomasum, first part of the duodenum, and pancreas. Here you see esophageal notch. So you see this is the esophageal notch. This is the esophageal notch. So here it is coming. So lesser omentum is coming here. It's present here. It will attach to the omasum, then duodenum, then abomasum, and pancreas in this area. So this is the lesser omentum. This is the lesser omentum. Next, anterior ligament or falciform ligament attaches the anterior surface of the liver below its middle to the tendinous center of the diaphragm. You see. Here, this is the falciform ligament. So, this surface is here. So, here is the falciform ligament. It attaches with the diaphragm. It attaches with the tendinous part of the diaphragm. So there is attachment here. So this attachment is called falciform ligament. Next, caudate ligament attaches the caudal lobe of the liver to the right kidney. Already I told you. Here you see. This is the right kidney is attached here. I will show you here. You see, this is the right kidney is located here. So there is attachment between the right kidney and the liver, and that ligament is called caudate ligament. So what are the ligaments of the liver? Sometimes it may come. So there are 5 ligaments of the liver, and these ligaments are helping to keep the liver in position. Those are right lateral ligament, round ligament, lesser omentum, anterior falciform ligament, and caudate ligament. Clear or not? So ligament of the liver of horse, I will teach you in the next class because I have to modify this one. Okay, I am planning to give some good slides. Okay, good photograph. That is why I am not going to teach the liver of horse today. The next Thursday I am going to take this class, liver of horse. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will stop here today. So in the next class, I will start from the liver of ox. Are you happy?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to modify these notes a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Okay, thank you.
sir.